Upfront and Outspoken with Bob Williams. If you love the Constitution,
man is not free unless government is limited.
If you love freedom,
as government expands, liberty contracts.
If you believe in personal responsibility, if you believe America is still the greatest nation on earth, then get ready for an experience you'll never forget. This is Upfront and Outspoken. Here's your host, Bob Williams.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag, rule like a red, white, and blue.
And welcome back. This is Upfront Outspoken. Of course, I'm your host, Bob Williams. Glad to have you along on this Thursday. Let's get right into things. Number one, let's get the weather out of your hair. For today, showers and thunderstorms mainly after 7 a.m., a high near 87. For tonight, 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms before 1 a.m. And for your Friday, oh, sweet, sunny, high near 72 degrees. A couple things I want to remind you about before I get to my guest who's very patient on the phone with me. First off, Saturday, mark it down. Mark it on your calendar. Saturday, October the 4th, 8 p.m., we will be recording our annual Halloween special. That's right. We're going to be at the Wrong Turn Haunted House in Panama, Oklahoma. And that's sponsored by our friends at the LaFleur County Paranormal Society. You can call Scott at 918-721-3275 or Harry at 918-721-5497. Tickets are only $5 per person, and make sure you definitely attend. Again, that's this Friday, 8 p.m., Wrong Turn, Haunted House, Panama, Oklahoma. Also want to give one more shout-out to our friends at Nana's Resale. These people really helped out. Oh, excuse me. What can I say? These people really helped out because earlier we had a little young lady who was in distress. She left a very abusive relationship and had only left with clothes on the back. And these people came out. That's Nana's Resale at 604 Kentucky in Panama. I want to give a special shout out. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate the help. You can call Nana at 918-721-4064 or visit the store 7 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. Monday through Friday. All right. On the phone with me is a very special guest. We've had him on before, and we always enjoy having him back on and always look forward to it. Again, I'm talking about none other than the one, the only, the great Jimmy Parker. Hello, Jimmy. Welcome to the show.
Bob Williams, my friend. How are you? It's nice to hear your voice here from Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, what can I tell you? I'm alive. I'm kicking. I'm still raising hell. How's that?
That's the only thing that counts in these days and times, my friend.
I want to bring everybody up to speed with what Jimmy's been doing. I believe it was this past weekend, Jimmy won the Independent Country Music Association Male Artist of the Year Award. Is that correct, Jimmy?
That's correct, and thank you very much for saying that.
You know, you deserve it. So my question to you is, when are we going to see you on the Grand Ole Opry?
Well, what you'll have to do is come here, I guess, and open up a radio station, Bob, right here in Nashville, and just start playing nothing but my music. Maybe they'll get the message and put me on the stage then.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is this guy, Jimmy, is a great talent. I mean, we air his music all the time right here on the entire network, and we get tremendous response from people. You know, I love the music. How could I go about getting it? Well, we refer them right away to your YouTube channel, and you know. And then what bothers me is these big companies still have not recognized your talent. But man, winning an award, man, the only award I'm going to win is for Loudmouth of the Year. Does that count?
Awards are nice, Bob. It's kind of like a thank you from the people and the associations out there for the hard work that you put in. But I try not to let the awards go to my head. I try not to let them get me above everything, and I always remember my roots and where I came from, and just continue to do exactly as I've been going on, being true to myself and my art, and let it take it where it takes me.
You know, you say you don't let these awards go to your, come on, you got to let them go to your head once in a while because it shows, hey, I'm actually doing something.
Once you win it like that, when you win it, it's always that little bit of a moment that you come up off the ground and you feel elevated and everything. But you got to come back to reality. And I've known some people that have won awards and they've gone 6 months, 8 months, thinking they were the best things that God had put on earth, and then all of a sudden they hit reality, and they come back and they end up with a big tumble or a big fall. And I'm not going to do that. I'd rather be the same person I was yesterday, today, unless I had to change myself for the better.
The thing is you've been so busy. You're on with what do you call them? House concerts. You're doing that. You were down here in Texas.
I do a lot of house concerts.
Now explain to listeners exactly what is a house concert.
A house concert is exactly as it says. It's a concert in one's house. It can be done for little or no cost. It's all done basically on donations from invited guests. And a lot of people have to understand it's not a party that you're throwing. It's a concert of music that you like, that you want to introduce to your friends and family members, maybe, depending upon how many people you want to invite over. Now, most house concerts are usually done for an audience of 20 or more people, depending upon the size of the room or how they want to set it up. I've had some house concerts where I go to the living room, you got 15 people standing around or sitting around listening to music. I've done other house concerts where the people had to go out and rent a room because they had so many people come. Hey, I want to come see this guy. I want to come hear the music. So there's various ways that you can set it up. It depends upon how theatrical you want to get with it. But it's always a concert and a listening atmosphere. And what I do, I travel, go to people's homes, set up my equipment, and I've got lights and sound and everything. And I perform my music instead of playing like in a bar or a club and playing 4 hours worth of cover tunes. I go in and I do an hour and a half, 2 hour show of nothing but my recorded music.
Wow, so that's a big difference. They're actually hearing Jimmy Parker for who Jimmy Parker is then.
Exactly. They're getting the real deal, as my producer said.
That's the one. It looks like we the thing is we've heard a lot of people. We got somebody buzzing in. They're just going to have to. I don't take calls, folks.
That might be somebody calling in to talk to.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to talk to you later. Okay, this is my time. This is my time. All right, but what the thing is that when you go to a bars and all that, like you said, you have to do a lot of cover songs. You're doing a 4 hour gig. It's nice to know that on these house concerts, it's a more intimate setting, and yet they get to hear your music. They're not hearing somebody else's. So I love the idea of you taking this where they're going to be listening strictly to your stuff and not somebody else. Well, what kind of reaction have you been getting since you've been doing these house concerts?
I get great reaction from the audiences, and another thing too, what I include in my show, I do some cover songs in my show, but it's the cover songs that I have recorded in my own way. My producer and I will take those in, and we will do them ourselves. And we don't come out sounding like, if we do, for instance, a Merle Haggard song, I don't come out singing exactly like Merle Haggard or Johnny Cash or Waylon Jennings or whoever cover song I may have recorded. I want the same voice on that as I do on my original, so therefore the whole show stays consistent. So by putting a few cover songs in there that I've recorded, it gives people some familiarity with the music that influenced me.
Now, we have a song on deck that I'm going to play here just momentarily after I get a little thing from you. You Never Know. What inspired you to do that song?
I listened to that song. It was written by a good friend of mine here in Nashville, Billy Ryan, and then co-written with him, Mike McGuire and Jimmy Yeary. When I listened to that song, it put cold chills on my arms. It put goosebumps. Made the hair on my arms stand up. And it just speaks the truth. It's, especially if it's someone you love or or a family member or whatever. Because as the song says, you never know what's going to happen from day to day. You're here today and gone tomorrow. My gosh, if you're mad at somebody, forgive them. Get it over with. Just forgive them and let it go. And you'll hear it in the song. It speaks for itself.
And the thing is I've seen the video. The video, the very first time I saw this. Now people consider me a hard nose. I'm just the way I am. But I saw the video, and it brought tears to my eyes. So I'm going to encourage everybody not only listen to the song here, but go check out the video on YouTube. Here is Jimmy Parker's "You Never Know."
You're my bestest friend. You're my bestest friend, Jimmy.
He kissed his wife at gate number 5, headed on another red-eye flight. Told her he'd be back on the night, and they'd find the time. Take the kids out on the coast, do the things that really matter most, but he won't be coming home this time. Guess you never know, you never know. In this, here today and gone tomorrow. So don't be fighting with your brother. Tell your mama that you love her, and hold your woman tight, and don't let go, 'cause you never know. So I took my own advice, and I held my woman tight. I cry about my brother's life nearly every night. I think about our year-long grudge. Mama begged me to call him up, what I wouldn't give to go back. You never know, no, you never know. In this, here today and gone tomorrow. So don't be fighting with your brother. Tell your mama that you love her. Hold your woman tight and don't let go. Tonight and let it go. Cause you never know.
And that, of course, is none other than my special guest, the great, and I'm going to keep calling him that, the one, the only, the great Jimmy Parker. Now, Jimmy, I have a question for you. And the question is, I know you recorded this, or you did a video for this, out in Hollywood, California. What was that like?
Oh, that was great. That was actually the first time I'd ever been to Hollywood, California on a project to work on. I had visited one time earlier in my life, but this was the first time to go out and work and actually meet some people in the film industry. It was great. We traveled around some of the countryside. We were out in police cars for part of this. with the guy and the mom, and then there was like the little swing where the two little boys on and all that. That was done in Canyon Country, which is in Los Angeles, a very nice section of Los Angeles too. But I met some great people. Ron Althoff, he was the director for this video. He and I both co-produced it. We had actors, actual actors, and stunt people were the actors in the video. The guy that played the older brother of mine, Chris Doyle, he's a big stuntman actor out in Hollywood. And Cheryl Russo, who played the love interest of mine in the video, she was a stunt woman. And also, Cheryl used to be with the female wrestling group called Glow. She was Lightning in Glow, the wrestling female wrestler.
So,
and then another stunt lady was in it too, Monique Yates Jr. She was my brother's love interest in there and all that. But great time, great people, and boy, I tell you, when they work, they work. We filmed for 4 straight days. I mean, I've got so much footage on this; it's unbelievable.
So the question I have is, when we were out in Hollywood, please tell me you got some autographs?
Actually, I was never able to get around any people that I could get the autographs from. When you're working like that, you know, you're not much of a what they call germ. You're not germing people. You're actually working, and whenever you're on a set with that, you kind of like put that stuff to the side because everybody's being professional.
Right.
But I mean, I did hang around in loose time. You know, we sat around, had a cigar, or maybe had a drink, and just sat around a little fire thing out in the yard and talked and had a good time after the shoot was over with. But actually, I never did get to see any of the real big names or anything like that. But maybe that's next time. Who knows?
So what do we expect coming out of you now? I mean, within, say, the next 6 months, 8 months, what are your plans?
Well, right now I'm sort of taking a little time off. All of my house concerts have been performed for this year. I've still got Iowa coming up in October. May have another one coming up in Illinois, but I'm not sure. We haven't gotten that straight yet. And I'm starting to get now busy and get my house concerts lined up for next year. I'm starting booking all that. If anybody would like to check on how I do house concerts, they can go to Facebook.com, Jimmy Parker House Concerts. And I have my own house concert page there on Facebook. That's Facebook.com/Jimmy Parker House Concerts. And I've got information on there on how to throw it, how to make your invites. If they have any questions or would like, just email me. They can find my email on my website at jimmyparkermusic.com.
And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Parker has been a guest on my show many times, and I've gotten to know Jimmy, and I got to tell you, this guy is a super swell guy. Opinionated at times, yes, we all know that. Go to his Facebook page. But as far as a vocal, he is powerful, and none of his songs that I've ever heard yet have been anything less. Jimmy, as always, it is such a pleasure getting you on. You got to stay in touch more often. We got to get you back on.
I know. I want to thank you for all you've done for me, and thank you also to all the great listeners on KKRP. All the great listeners out there that like country music, thank you so much for not only supporting the station but listening to the music. And I've heard from a few people out there with email, and I think I've got some friends on Facebook out there that have heard me off of your show. So thank you all very, very much.
Jimmy, stay on the line with me, everybody else. You know what that means. Time for me to get out of here. I want you to stick around because coming up right after NPR News, none other than the one, the only, the great Ed Till will be with you all the way up until 4 p.m. this afternoon. So until tomorrow, 6 a.m., this is Bob Williams. Take care of yourselves.